As we're getting closer to UFC Denver, Namajunas Cortez, which was previously Namajunas Barber, we gotta take a little deeper dive here. I wanted to take a deeper dive when it was still Barber, and now that it's switched up, I feel like we definitely need to look in it. I think instinctually, people hear this fight and they say, well, Rose Namajunas is going to go in there and dominate Tracy Cortez. Rose is 11-6, right? Only 11-6. I mean, no, Rose is 12-6, pardon me. Tracy Cortez, 11-1. One loss for Tracy Cortez. They're both 5-5. Both have a 60. Well, no, actually, Tracy Cortez has a half-inch reach advantage. No predictions. The boys over at Tapology have not voted on this one yet. So if we're looking at these odds here, Rose Namajunas is the heavy favorite according to the FanDuel. Minus 245 favorite here. Tracy Cortez is quite the underdog. So what gives me some reason for pause here, and not just going with the idea that Rose Namajunas is one of the best fighters we've seen, so she's clearly going to go in there and dominate Tracy Cortez. I think that's the easy thing to say, but I think we really need to take into account that styles make fights. And we recently saw Rose Namajunas have one of the most boring fights in UFC history. And why was that? Because she was so worried about the grappling from her opponent, Carla Esparza. She was so worried about the wrestling that it pretty much stifled her entire offense, because she didn't want to get into an exchange, overextend herself, and get taken down. Now, what is Tracy Cortez known for? Her wrestling. She's known to come in there and spam those takedowns. She has improved in the striking, but I think it would definitely not be beneficial for her to want to stand with someone like Rose Namajunas. We have seen quite the regression in Rose Namajunas since she's no longer training with Trevor Whitman, it seems. Her striking is not as sharp as it used to be. And even with that, I think it would not be beneficial for Tracy Cortez to stand with Rose Namajunas. I think the path that she needs to take is obviously to take her down, and I feel like Tracy could easily give Rose some problems and stifle Rose Namajunas because of that threat. She keeps shooting on her. If Tracy Cortez is able to get Rose Namajunas down early in this fight, in the first round, she's able to get her down early, I think that's really going to make Rose Namajunas very hesitant, very cautious in there, and she's not going to want to. It's going to be similar to the Carla Esparza fight, if that happens. I'm not saying these are definites. These are the things that have to happen in this fight no matter what. I'm just saying that this is a possibility. This is a way that it could go. It isn't cut and dry that Rose Namajunas is just going to walk through Tracy Cortez like a hot knife through butter. I don't think it's cut and dry in that way. I don't see it in that context. I think Tracy Cortez is definitely game. When it was announced, initially I was like, I'm not really here for this fight. I mean, I will physically be there. I already bought my ticket when it was Namajunas Barber, so I will be in the arena. I will be in the Ball Arena for this fight. But I think people need to understand that this fight is actually more competitive than accolades might suggest. Tracy Cortez doesn't have the championship. She's not a multiple-time UFC champion. She is an upcoming fighter, but I think she is definitely game for this fight next week, Saturday. Another fight on this card just added. It's just announced about 6 hours ago. They announced right here from Milwaukee, Montel Quick Jackson is fighting Damon Blackshear. Montel Quick Jackson will face Damon Blackshear in Denver, and As I said, I'll be there. And as a big fan of Milwaukee's own Montel Quick Jackson, I'm very excited to see this fight. I'm happy that I get to see Montel Quick Jackson fight. But I was honestly worried about this card. Maybe a few days ago, I was looking at this card and there's like 8 fights. I was like, dude, what is this card going to be? But now it's really rounding out. We got Montel Jackson versus Damon Blackshear. Another fight on here that I think is a pretty good fight. Drew Dober is now facing John Silva. We just saw John Silva finish. Who did he finish? We just saw John Silva finish Charles Jourdain. Drew Dober somehow lost to Renato Moicano. I think Renato Moicano is so overrated, but that's neither here nor there. I like Drew Dober. I think Drew Dober's good, and I think this fight is actually 50-50. Let me see if I see this fight as a pick'em. Definitely fight of the night potential here. Definitely potential to end in the first round. Also, from right here, Milwaukee's own Christian Rodriguez, C-Rod, is taking on Julian Erosa. Erosa's talking a lot of trash. Erosa's saying he doesn't feel like Christian Rodriguez's resume right now is too legit. He feels like Christian Rodriguez lost his last fight. The judges gifted him that fight. Julian Erosa, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, is the underdog. Christian Rodriguez is the heavy favorite in this one. He's a minus 250. All right, C-Rod is the heavy favorite coming into this fight. And you have Julian Erosa just dismissing the skill of Christian Rodriguez. I honestly don't understand it. I'm listening to these interviews and he's just talking insane trash about Christian Rodriguez. That makes me even hyper to see this fight, to see Rufus Sports Christian Rodriguez get the job done against Juicy J Julian Erosa. Erosa does have the height advantage. He's 6'1". Christian Rodriguez 5'7". I think he might actually be shorter than that when I've seen him in person. And Christian Rodriguez, with the striking and his grappling, is the heavy favorite in here. And I'm excited to see Milwaukee's own live in Denver, Colorado. This fight, I don't know why it says this. This fight ain't happening. It's just Viviane Arujal versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. That fight's not happening. Tapology, man. You gotta hire your boy. You guys need to update your fucking cards. So, UFC signs Fatima Klein for short notice debut versus Jasmine Jasudavicius in Denver. But Jasmine Jasudavicius will now fight Fatima Klein. And Fatima Klein's debut, Klein 23. Josh the Fearless Van versus Charles Johnson. That should be a crazy fight. Maria Agapova, I feel bad for her every time. Every time I watch her fight, I feel bad for her these days. All in all, I'm thinking this should be a pretty decent card. Maybe they'll add one more fight, probably not. 11 fights is pretty decent for a fight night card. UFC Denver, Namajunas Cortez should be an interesting card. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you guys there. See you guys next time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe.